Hi everyone. I just thought it's Good Friday today, and I thought I should get some Easter cards made because I've just been sitting around with this cold. Richard told me he's going to make me a hot toddy tonight, so I thought I better get these cards made before I'm under the influence of my hot toddy. You know what I mean? I was going to sip on it while I made the cards, but I just thought you guys would get too much chuckle out of that one, and I couldn't be responsible for what I say. I'll show you my Easter nails. Pretty, hey? I'm wearing a green dress. My daughter is hosting Easter dinner this year, which is really nice because I just can't shake this cold, and I think it's kind of a good time for the kids to start doing that, and so she totally volunteered, so I'm quite excited about that. So I'm going to get started with my Easter cards. I use this template. I use this quite a bit. It's Heidi Grace, and it's a template for a whole bunch of banners and stuff. And I picked this up, a couple years ago for $4.99, and I have used this so much for just different banner shapes and stuff. It'd be much easier to have a punch, but instead of having to have a punch in all these different shapes, I just take out the one, like I use this one here for this card, and I just traced it, and then I just pop it back in here. It takes a little bit longer, but you know, that's okay. Kind of do it old school. So before I cut out my card pieces, I'm just using plain white cardstock here, and some of my old homemade Pacific Blue. It's Pacific Point is the ink color from Stampin' Up, and it's blue, and I'm going to spray my cardstock pieces first, let it dry, and then cut it out. So I'll get started on that right now. So I didn't even show you the banners that I cut out, what they look like, and I don't know what scrap paper line this was, but there they are. They're kind of cute, hey? So I'm just going to put those aside. I'm also using these little 4-inch paper doilies. Janet brought these for me from Britain, and just a big pack like this. So I want to use them. And then next I've just got a pile of scrap paper here, different colors. And I am going to use my Big Shot and the embosslet folder called Beautiful Wings, which I'm Stampin' Up. So some of the butterflies will have embossing on them, some will have scrolls, and they'll all get cut out. So I just need a whole bunch of just random different colored butterflies. So again, I love making cards where you don't have to go out and buy anything. I can't even think of the last time I went out and bought supplies or paper or anything. So I'll just run this first one through, and I'll show you what I mean if you don't have this little embosslet folder. I love these. So this one's got sort of Swiss dots on it. There you go. Now you can see them. I'll put the good ones over here, and this one has a scrolly thing on the front of it. And they're all just all like that. This one's got some little teeny little lines, striped lines embossed on it. It's hard to see. There we go. And then the rest are just tiny butterflies. Look at them all. Look at how little this guy is in my hand right there. It's so tiny and so delicate. So I'm just going to go ahead and pop out a whole bunch of them. So some are embossed and some are not. And look at this little one. I'll put it on my finger. How cute are these, eh? So I'm just going to go through with a whole bunch of scrap papers and cut them all out. So I've cut all of my papers out, and you can see they're all different. I spritzed all the paper, dried it with my heat emboss gun, and this is 2 sheets, so that gave me 8 card fronts. I'm going to glue this right onto a card front when I'm done. I was going to just use this as my card front, but on some of them the color seeped through a little bit, like that. So it looks kind of messy on the inside, so I'll just glue them on the card front. So I'm just going to work on this front here. I have 6 of them to do. So I wanted a card that was relatively easy, but still looks like you put some thought into it, you know? So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp a little bit of a background, and I'm going to be using All Aflutter, this butterfly stamp, in the exact same color as the spray, which was Pacific Point Blue. So, so it's just kind of color on color. So I'm just going to stamp just maybe 1 or 2 butterflies. Okay, so I'm going to be using the wall scripted stamp as well, and I'm using the one that says Happy Easter and the butterfly. So I put a piece of scrap paper underneath, and I'm stamping it this way, you see? So I'm going to put in the upper left-hand corner here, I'm going to stamp the Happy Easter in the same blue, that Pacific Point blue right up there, like that. And then I'm going to stamp a couple of butterflies, not too many, but just to give it a little bit of a background. So I'm going to put one here and one over here, and then just a little bit of one going that way. So it looks like the butterfly's kind of flying off the page. Can you see that? And this will all make perfect sense once I get the card all together. So I have all of my card fronts stamped, and they're all completely different, which is so cool. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take a doily, and I'm going to fold this doily directly in half like so. And before I do it, I'm going to take this really fine green twine. I got this at a thrift store, and I loved it because it was just so fine. So I want to try to get a piece that's quite green because the other pieces are faded. And I'm just going to tuck it inside of here like so, and just leave some of it hanging down, okay? And then I'm just going to glue just sort of a little bit of a tiny bit of adhesive inside just to keep the string from not falling out. So I'll just put a little bit of adhesive inside of there, and then fold it in half like so. Now the reason I'm not too worried about gluing it too much is because I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine, and I am going to sew this. Before I do that, I'm going to take my pennant right here, this piece, and I'm going to also glue that down a little bit on the front, and it's also going to be sewn. So I want to glue it just, that's the one beauty of when you're sewing with scrapbooking and card making, you can fake it and glue it first. So it's going to look like so, okay? So then I am going to go over to my sewing machine, stitch a sew line all the way across there. So guess what this is, folks? Yeah, so the fun begins. But before I drink that, I want to show you something I did that had absolutely nothing to do with my hot toddy. Okay, you know how I had stamped Happy Easter up in this corner, but then after I sewed my doilies and my little pennant, as you can see, like that, I wanted it to go across the top like this, and it could have, but I wanted it to be the width of the card front like so. So now I have to cover up my Happy Easter, and some of my butterflies are flying that way like they've had a few too many hot toddies. But once I get everything else on the page, I think it will be okay. So I'm just going to trim the sewing machine thread off so you can see how I sewed it in green to match this green twine. And then I'm just going to trim the sewing machine threads off all of these. So here are my, actually needed 7 cards, and yeah, I'm just kind of a bit irked that the butterfly here is kind of going straight that way. But if you didn't know it, I suppose you would just think that's printed paper. So I've got all my pennants on top of the doily sewed in the green string, and I just left it hanging because I love the way it looks. I put half back pearls on the 2 top little guys and the 1 big one, and then not on the other ones. So they all look different. So there's that one, and then that one, and the pennant is done a little bit different. I just use scraps. And because the backgrounds are all so different, each card is different. So this one has a lot of those little teeny butterflies. I love how it turned out, though. It's a very soft, whimsical Easter card. And it just, I wanted something pretty because, you know, we've had a lot of snow up here. So I thought it would be nice if I had something that was a little bit pretty. And then there's that one and that one. And I have one more gulp left in my hot toddy. Don't know if you can see it, but if I spill it, I'll spill it on my iPad. So I just want to take this opportunity to wish you all a very happy Easter. And for those that celebrate Passover, a very happy holiday to you all. And a happy spring to everyone else. And I hope this hot toddy knocks that out of me tonight, and if not, it just doesn't. So I've tried every old wives' tale in the book, and I've been hanging on to this cold, seems like forever, but that's okay. Oh, I wanted to show you the cutest thing I picked up. I can't even remember where now. I don't know, but look at these tweezers. Aren't they cute? She's even got little feet and everything. I love them. But I meant to show you guys this before, but I forgot. But I did a lot of tweezer work picking up all these teeny tiny little guys and putting the, excuse me, half back pearls on. So thanks a lot for watching, everyone. And I think for the little guys, I'm just going to make a card. I cut out this oval shape from Basic Shapes and Letters from Cricut. So I just cut this egg shape out, and then what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to do it tonight, I'll do it tomorrow. I'm going to place it on cardstock and cut it like a card, and cut the bottom straight across so that it's can sit up, and then I'll just put the kid's name on it, and just say Happy Easter, and maybe use my little Easter Bunny stamp, or something like that. So I just have to make 5 of those. So that's it. And then in the morning, I am going to bake some hot cross buns for my family. And so that's just going to be my little Easter present to them. I don't normally give presents at Easter time. I might give like a plant or some seeds or something that's reminiscent of being springtime. But I just thought I'd make some hot cross buns. And if I can convince Richard to take them by tomorrow evening so they can have them for their Easter breakfast, that would be really nice. So we'll see how much I get done tomorrow. So thanks so much for watching. I've said that about 5 times, and this time it's over and out. Bye.